It's star ingredient. Last two we sort of sorry listeners, I'm really waffling.
I know.
Last week we both bought something. The week before, because it was the Christmas episode and we had Tom on, you presented a whole roast dinner that was sat on the table and nobody even touched it.
2 out of 10, that roast dinner was awful.
I beg to differ because that gravy, listeners, seriously, go to Martyn's YouTube or Insta. Anyway, he's got a recipe for a quick gravy. And if you haven't had enough of roasts and go, I don't want gravy now for a while, if you want some gravy, do your red wine jus.
Well, I'll tell you what they should do. They should go to my
amazing.
YouTube, lagomchef.com, find the red wine jus, then while they're there, open up another tab and get the Stuff podcast YouTube on as well.
Exactly.
There you go. See? Done this before, ladies and gentlemen.
See?
What's that?
And I've got my YouTube. I haven't put anything new up there for ages, but there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff on there, listeners, viewers. Listeners and viewers.
Everyone. So this ingredient / dish / thing of the week is...
Pasta.
And
what a broad, huge ingredient it is.
I know, we're going to be here for a while.
I'm very excited. So before you start... Well, we need to talk a little bit about pasta first of all.
Yeah.
Don't we? Number one, I'm going to interview you.
Okay.
Do you like pasta?
Yes.
Do you like cold pasta?
Yes.
Do you like... Here's a question. Pasta, do you think of noodles, kind of Asian, Southeast Asian noodle dishes as pasta? Because even though they are pasta, for me, I kind of go, it's not really...
Yeah.
It's noodles. Noodles isn't pasta.
What was the definition of pasta?
I mean, it's the same, isn't it? I mean, it's like a wheat and... not always wheat. A dough made into
Shape.
Pasta. I mean, it's like pasta. It's pasta's made into...
Well, because the internet was divided at that point where... Well, I say divided, but they did ramen carbonara. So they used the ramen noodles to make carbonara. And everyone's like, oh my God. And I was like, it's just...
Oh, no, of course.
Pasta.
It is pasta. But there's something about... the whole thing of it being noodles that you kind of go, it doesn't really feel like pasta, although of course in America they call all pasta shapes noodles, so they'll get lasagna sheets and they'll call it noodles.
Wow!
They'll go, we just put the noodles on there, and it's like, that's lasagna. You guys say it's noodles.
Weird. Americans are weird.
But they call even like Pele, they'll call it noodles.
Who? Oh, Penne. I thought you said Pele. I thought you said the football player.
Everything,
I was like,
not even
noodle.
pasta. Yeah, everything. At Christmas they call it pasta. Noodles. I mean,
exactly.
So so there we go. What other questions can I ask you about pasta?
Well, I want to show you my thing because I think it's really interesting, and I think you're going to go, "Wow, I've never seen one that
Should
shape
I close
before."
my eyes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm closing my eyes. Martyn is getting something out. That sounds like a. That sounds. Do you know what that sounds like?
What?
That sounds like a. Don't stop hitting me with the spoonula.
Such a good thing to hit people with.
That sounds like a old Quality Street tin from the
Miles
80s.
away. Come on, you'll like it. Open your eyes.
Oh, I can open them now.
Ooh.
React. What is it? Well, I'm intrigued. It's a bucket. It's huge. I like that. Do you know what that looks like? It looks like something you get a load of floor glue in. What is that? Just like really amazing pasta.
Well, look at the front.
I'm reading this, listeners. Made from bread waste. This is wasted pasta.
Yeah. So there's a company called Eat Wasted, and what they do is they make pasta out of wasted bread.
How do they do it?
Don't have a clue.
I would assume they must dehydrate the bread, make it back into a flour, and then...
Yeah.
And it's beautiful shape.
It's
It's
so
lovely,
cool, isn't it?
I don't know what shape that's called.
No.
It's the cross section is a little S, but then it's more like almost like sort of double macaroni or something, isn't it?
It almost looks like trotters, like big nail clippings of like horrible dogs.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Imagine if you're like a greyhound.
Oh. What lovely. Oh, it's nice, and it's got that nice bronze kind of, so that's a thing that a lot of people talk about. Bronze, it's got to come from a bronze die.
Yeah.
That's lovely stuff.
Good,
so have
it?
you cooked some of this?
I've cooked some of that. That's what we're going to eat as well. I've
Okay.
got 2 dishes for you that we're going to eat.
Shall we go for it straight away, or shall we talk more about
we can
pasta?
talk while we're warming things up.
All right, you get warming. I'll ask you more questions. What do you? What are your thoughts on wholemeal pasta? Because that's something that my mum used to cook, and we would go, "Oh no, not wholemeal." You know, we're having pasta for dinner. Great.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's wholemeal pasta.
Oh, it doesn't bother me too much.
I quite like it now.
Yeah, but there was the tricolor one, wasn't there? The fusilli that you had, like the brown, the white, and the green.
Yes.
No, I did enjoy those.
Yeah.
They always tasted the same, but they always felt like they tasted different.
A bit more exciting. Yeah. Like multicolored popcorn. I remember having that when I was a kid. But I think wholemeal pasta now, I think it works really well with a creamy sauce, like cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a carbonara with wholemeal spaghetti, I think is lovely.
Delicious. So what I've got here, George, is I've cooked some for you to try.
This is just totally plain?
Totally plain, a little bit of salt in the water. Tastes like pasta.
Yeah, nice.
And then what I thought is...
Oh, that looks like a nice oily... That is... Listeners,
Gosh.
Martyn has just taken the lid off, I would say, a very nice metal container there.
Yeah, elephant box they're called.
Elephant box, listeners, search those guys out. And there looks like there's so much oil in that sauce, it looks absolutely heavenly.
So...
Talk me through the sauce.
So basically... This, as it's the new year, new me, all of that kind of stuff, there'll be a lot of vegans that are going, "Oh, it's hard to be a vegan," right? This sauce...
It's hard to be a vegan sounds like a song from a musical, doesn't it? Or just single spotlight in the stage. Going, "It's hard to be a vegan." Everyone, "Oh no, it's not dry." Oh God, when he sings, "It's hard to be a vegan."
Like Book of Mormon. Can't wait to take you to see that.
Well, let's go.
So basically, all I've done, this is my vegan mate Tommaso, who is an incredible vegan chef.
Yeah.
He said one of the ways that his nonna used to do it was that you get tin tomatoes, you put some garlic in, and then you cover the tomatoes in oil in a pan, and then you just turn it on a really low heat. So it's about 2 hours, and the oil almost confits the tin tomatoes. The water evaporates; it slowly blips up through the oil, and then underneath these tomatoes just get cooked down, and a bit of salt. That is it, and it is the most incredible sauce.
So that is just tomato, garlic, oil, salt, and
that's it.
A number of hours. Shall we get a spoonie?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put that in the poppy ping. Use this one.
Oh, you're going to warm it up? Okay.
So I've got another dish we're going to do as well at the same time.
All right.
But have a taste of the sauce and let me know what you think.
Yeah. I'm going to taste... Shall we... Hold on. Let's just give that a little stirry.
So what I thought with pasta, where does pasta...
Shall I just taste the sauce by itself, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, where does pasta come from? What country?
Well, Italy, I suppose, generally, unless, as we were talking about, noodles and then it's like confusing.
Yeah, so Italy. So I thought what we'd do is do a classic one.
Yeah.
And then we would bastardize a classic just to really rile up the Italians for a laugh. So what's a classic pasta dish that Italians hate being done over with?
What do you mean being done over with?
Well, what's a dish that they're like, no, it must be done like this? Quick fire, go.
Pizza.
No, it's pasta,
What
you donkey. What pasta dish?
Spaghetti bolognese.
No.
Carbonara.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to do a carbonara.
Sorry, that's so good.
Good, isn't it?
It's so sweet. But there's no sugar in there.
No sugar, just
the slow cooking and the caramelisation and the...
So we'll pop that in the microwave.
Well, wait.
You do that.
All right. I'm going to ask you more questions about pasta while you're doing that.
Okay.
What is the best pasta shape for you?
Orecchietta.
Which one's that?
The one that looks like a belly button. The one that's like a circle and it's been mushed.
Oh, so it's almost got a slightly sort of torn outside, you mean?
Yeah. But it's like you do it with a knife.
Yeah.
You have like the blob and then you put your knife down and run it across and it kind of like
and then
folds
it curls
over.
up and turns into a little...
I never have it, but
is that
I like
the one
it.
that's like an ear? Is that what the word means, is it ears?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
What's your favourite?
Spaghetti.
Oh, it's a good choice, isn't it?
It's just so good. What are you doing then? So you've got Nduja, which I still... I'm never sure if I'm saying it right when I say it.
Spicy sausage.
Is it Nduja?
Oh, yeah, I do it really Essex and go Nduja.
Nduja. And now you are separating a
egg.
You got the white in the lid.
Yeah, we'll drink that.
You're not going to drink that, are you?
Yeah.
It's like Rocky.
It's so chewy. Zero waste, George. You know I do that every time.
I know, but I know.
Who's going to make a meringue out of it? Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, my channel is all about food waste. And I think people can give you solutions for fantastic things to do with meringue. Like you could do a meringue, you can make an egg white omelette, but 90% of the time people will just go, oh, I put the egg white in there and I forgot about it. So just drink it or have a whiskey sour.
And do you know what? That's exactly what I did the day before yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday, before I came down to meet you for the thing, I made a tiramisu. And I didn't want to put too much egg white in it, so we used 3 egg yolks, and then we used one of the egg whites to whip up and mix in with the tiramisu, but I didn't want it too light. And I had 2 more egg whites, and I thought I'll do something with those. And then, do you know, when I was doing the washing up, I thought, and I poured them down the sink. It's terrible. But I didn't feel like I didn't want to spoil my appetite because we were going out for dinner.
You should just drink them.
Well, that's why I didn't want to spoil my appetite.
I know.
So what have you got? You've massaged some parmesan. Is that?
Yeah, I'm doing it a bit.
Parmesan into the Nduja.
Doing it a bit backwards because you would cook your pasta, then reserve a bit of that pasta water to then make, because the whole thing with a carbonara is you don't want to curdle the eggs.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to use the residual cooking temperature. So we've got a bit of Nduja, egg yolk, parmesan, bit of black pepper, and then we're just going to put our pasta in and then hope it'll make a semi-decent carbonara.
Yum. Lovely.
It's going to come in.
Oh, that's going in. Oh, that's interesting. I thought you were going to put this in the pan, but you've put the...
Well, I want to try and mop up a bit of a...
All right.
See how this goes.
Mixy. And then we get to taste. Hopefully. And then we get to taste.
And
that's going in.
Right, come on. It should come together. Why's it turned off?
Okay, I'll ask you some more. I've written down some more pasta thoughts.
Yeah? Let's stand up.
Dried pasta or fresh?
Dried.
And are there any situations where you think fresh works better?
If you're making something like a tagliatelle, I think it's one of the easiest ones to make.
Well, also, that's what I've written down here. For me, spaghetti has to be dried pasta.
Yeah.
But tagliatelle, I've never had a dried tagliatelle that hasn't tasted a bit too thick, a bit too leathery, whereas fresh, it seems to work better. It's weird, isn't it? And I do love making... Tell you what, that's some of the nicest little kind of family things we've done, is where we've gone, let's all make pasta, and we've all gone very like Italian family and made a load of pasta dough, put it in the middle of the table, and then everyone's sat round and made little pasta shapes, and then we've all cooked it and eaten it. That's a fun party, folks. If you want to do a different New Year's Eve next year, do a pasta making party.
Pasta party.
Lovely stuff. That looks so delish and creamy.
Here we go. So, one classic Italian one semi not correct one.
Which one shall I try first?
That will taint your mouth, so I'd probably go tomato sauce and then...
Okay, so this is the waste bread pasta with that incredible tomato sauce that by itself was so good.
Yeah.
Shall I go for it?
Go for it. Simplicity.
It's so good. I can't get over how good that sauce is.
I know.
That was delicious. Before I try that one, is it too hot? No, it's not.
It's good.
Okay, I'm going
the thing with the carbonara is that everyone thinks that, or everyone ends up getting scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
But it's all about using the residual heat of the pasta. You don't actually really cook it on the stove. You kind of just like residual heat, a little bit of the warm water, and let it just come together.
Take it off, let it cool a tiny bit in before you put the eggs in. Because you want raw egg yolk, essentially, because as soon as it starts getting cooked, then it's when it goes solid, isn't it?
That's it.
Here I go.
Mmm. Is it good?
Yeah, it's really good.
I can't go too wrong, can you? Got a bit of a kick to it.
Yeah. I could just sit and eat this now.
Yeah, then no one will hear us.
Talk to me about, because here's the thing. No one, on television, when you see someone salt the water for pasta, and they've got like sort of 4 litres in a pan, and they get a salt mill and do like 3 twists.
Yeah.
And I just think,
what are you doing? What has that done?
That's nothing.
But it's like and also when they have the pinch pots as well. They're like, I'm just going to season it and pinch pot. There's that saying that the water has to taste like the sea. You know, but there is a point of like over seasoning, like over salting the water and whatnot. But you just have to think that pasta in reality doesn't really taste of a great deal. So you want it to absorb whatever you're doing. So yeah, the salty water really does bring out the flavour in the pasta.
And also, I think the most important thing is, when I'm putting salt in my pasta water, I'll get a big dessert spoon and I've got a salt pig. I've got one of those looks like a kind of funnel on a not a funnel, like one of the things on a boat where
like a periscope.
Someone would hide. And that's always full of salt, and I'll get a huge spoonful of that and put it in, because I've got a big pan of water, and people will go, that's so much salt, and you think, yeah, but most of that's going down the sink, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's only a fraction of the water is absorbed by the pasta. So actually, it's no more than getting finished pasta and just seasoning it with a little sprinkle. But
that's the thing. And I think also like with pasta, we talked about it a lot before, with the technique of like blanch and refreshing. So when you're making something, especially like this, that you're going to warm up in sauce again, if you've cooked it to a point of it being edible and then you warm it up in sauce again, it's just going to fall apart. So doing something like this, you can cook it sort of 3/4 of the way, put it in ice cold water, and then when you reheat it, you're going to get a decent bite of pasta.
Well, I think that
stodge.
That is an incredibly common thing. Is certainly in this country is cooking pasta. And I know it's a thing that people say all the time, but is cooking pasta too much? And you know.
Yeah.
You want it.
Well, especially if you're making fresh pasta, it takes 30 seconds to cook or whatever. Yeah. But if you're doing dry pasta and you're trying to do it to order, then it takes a little bit longer. So that's why a lot of restaurants will use that technique: blanch and refresh, have something ready, plop it in, bobbly boo. Wow.
So salt in the water. We talked about that. Would you pre-boil lasagna sheets? That's a nice
Depends which one they are, and depends how lazy I'm feeling. If you don't pre-boil your lasagna sheets, then the lasagna is going to take longer to cook.
Right.
But then if you've already done all of the cooking process before anyway, then there's no need to take as long, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because the meat's cooked, the bechamel's cooked, the cheese is all you're doing is just melting.
If you're pre-cooking them, they're not going to absorb. So I would say if you are using dried pasta sheets and putting it straight in, make sure your sauce is a lot sloppier than you want it to finish at.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll end up with a dry lasagna.
Yeah. In Newquay, there's a place called Rosa's, and they do deep fried lasagna with black garlic aioli, and it is
my God,
unreal.
Like panade. And
you just get like a square of it, and you're just like, that's not going to fill me up. You get about halfway through, and you're like, a brick has entered my stomach, and it is so good.
I bet that's good.
Yeah, deep fried lasagna.
Question here: is life too short to stuff a cannelloni?
Yeah, man. Again, I've done catering jobs. Anytime there's something that's like, stuff a cannelloni, poach some quail's eggs. Oh, you just go, I feel a bit sick.
I tell you what, there's a Italian deli around the corner from where I used to live, and they did this. They still do this frozen cannelloni that they do themselves, and they get obviously dried lasagna sheets, just parboil those, and then rather than stuffing a cannelloni, they just roll that around the filling, and so it's kind of like a sort of improvised cannelloni, but it's really nice, works really well. So that's a good little hack. Don't bother with because you need to find a piping bag and everything, or spend forever a tiny spoon trying to drop, which I've done, or trying to drop it in one and then turning it over and then going, this is filling up loads. It's coming out the other end,
Piping bag. Ooh, it's one of those toys. What's the one that I always forget? It's like tagliatelle, but it's got like crinkles. It's like wavy. It's
I know exactly the one you mean. I've no idea what it's called.
Almost like a pappardelle, but it's called like a papa something.
It looks like a ribbon that someone has pulled a thread out the side and you've gone, oh, look, you've spoilt the ribbon.
Yeah. Very good. I like seeing those ones. Sometimes I treat myself to those. Or there's the one that looks like an ear canal from like a medical book. You ever seen it?
Yes, I have. That's a great description of it.
It's good, isn't it?
It really is. It's probably called whatever that is in Italian. What about is it bucatini?
Bucatini.
The one that's spaghetti with a hole down the middle.
Yeah, I got a bucatini maker.
But the only problem with that is you can't suck it up, because you try and suck it up and you it's like a straw, so you're just sucking air up. So you're just going like that. It's not.
You have to be a professional pasta eater for that one.
But I do like it.
Yeah, good. I love pasta.
Do you like a pasta salad? I got a book recently called Cool Pasta I wrote it down, by a guy called Tom Jackson. Quite a new book,
right? And
it's brilliant. It's basically, he talks about it's called Reinventing the Pasta Salad, and saying how it's been just wrecked by it being in every single kind of Boots meal deal, Marks and Spencer's kind of thing, and just overloaded with mayonnaise and overcooked pasta and that sort of thing. And it's just a whole book of called Cool Pasta, as in not hot, not as in hey man, cool. Hey man,
cold pasta.
Yeah, basically cold pasta, and some of them are warm, but it's just got, and it says on the cover, mayo-free zone, so none of them got mayonnaise in, but it's a great book. Yeah, highly recommend it.
My mum used to do like Mary Rose sauce. That was it, Mary Rose sauce, diced cucumber, sweet corn, and then some peppers. And it used to be just this weird 80s pasta salad.
Not nice.
No, it was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and it was always undercooked the pasta, so it was like this kind of like, you had to bite through the bows, and you were like, oh yeah, I kind of like that.
I think that's the thing as well with a pasta salad. If it's overcooked and then it goes cold, and then it's just like sort of
stodge in it,
paste in a.
Yeah, because I used to work at
shape.
Pizza Hut, and they had the tomato salad in there, and like tomato pasta salad, and it was not a good thing. It was very stodgy.
What's your? I mean, this is so hard. I mean, desert island discs, blah blah blah. But what's your favourite pasta dish?
Lasagna. So easy.
Well, do you know what? In my notes, I wrote down lasagna, but then I thought,
man, lasagna.
No. I totally agree. But what I'm thinking is, there's so much else going on there. I mean, I know it's got pasta in it, but it's almost like, is it? I mean, it is a pasta dish, but does it count in the same way as like a bowl of pasta? Whereas it's like a.
Yeah, but you could just say like spaghetti bolognese. It's basically a lasagna.
Oh no, sure.
Just put some cheese on it.
I mean, I love it. Lasagna. I think is the best, not just the best pasta dish. It's just the best dish, isn't it?
I get asked all the time, like, what's your favourite dish? And I always say lasagna. Hot, cold, deep fried, in a sandwich,
and just reheated in a microwave.
I love it.
Here's the thing.
Go on.
There was on the sadly late Michael Mosley, who did his podcast all about health, sort of things that you don't know that improve, like cold water bathing and all that kind of malarkey. And he did a whole episode about reheated pasta and how it's better for you. Same with rice and potatoes, but carbohydrates, when they're cooked, let's go cold and then reheated. Tap my microphone there, sorry listeners. It's better for you.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently the starches, they transform into something. You need to do research. But,
cosmic lasagna.
But no, it's better for you, apparently. A little favourite recipe of mine that I came up with is fish finger spaghetti, which sounds ridiculous. But here's the concept. Me and Mrs. Egg were having a prawn spaghetti dish with just a nice kind of sort of tomatoey prawn sauce, and then I'd made some pangrattato on top, crispy fried breadcrumbs. And I was thinking, sorry, not prawn, crab pasta dish with the pangrattato on top. And I was just thinking, well, the breadcrumbs works really well. The crab meat, and I thought, well, actually, fish fingers, that ticks the box of, something fell over, listeners.
It's the salt.
Of fish. The breadcrumbs on the fish fingers, that's kind of like the pangrattato. So it's basically, you bake fish fingers in the oven, you make a very simple sauce of just loads of oil, garlic, chili, tiny bit of tomato puree, stick a star anise in there with it, so you get that kind of nice, and a few fennel seeds, so you get that nice, licoricey flavour. Then when cook the spaghetti, mix up, chop up the fish fingers really small, mix them all in, then you get the kind of breadcrumbs, you get the little bits of fish, the oil and the tomato puree colours the flakes of cod that make it almost look like crab.
Is it cod?
Loads of parsley.
Mystery fish.
It's delicious. Yeah. Oh, I see. Well, it might be pollock.
It's like that bit, what is it, forced meat that's not actually the meat, it's like all the stuff that's been stripped off the bones and they make chicken nuggets out of it.
Oh, mechanically recovered meat.
Yeah. Mechanically recovered fish bits.
I suppose that's like crab sticks, isn't it?
Love a crab stick.
I love crab sticks. Anyway, that's really nice. But just a little thing I've just put in brackets there, just because they're fish fingers. There's a place in Lewes where my wife goes every week for this. It's like a sort of nature walk thing, and it's led by this guy who knows everything about nature, and she comes back every week with like, I've seen this mushroom, I've seen this insect, and just learning about nature. And there's a place in Lewes where they get loads of fish fingers, loads of kingfishers. I just did the exact mistake that I'm about to talk about. Load of kingfishers, and we were there, and I said, is this the place where you can see fish fingers? And she said, I think you mean kingfishers. And I said, oh yeah.